Hi, Stefan Swartling here from Swartling Network. Google's search deal with Apple expires in early 2015. That could mean that Apple can choose another search provider, for example Yahoo or Microsoft's Bing, and that is as the default search engine in Safari web browser. At the moment, Google is the default search engine, but after this deal is done, Apple can choose, for example, Yahoo or Bing as the default search in Safari web browser. And as you may know, Apple has already replaced Google search in Siri. Siri uses Bing now instead of Google, so maybe Apple will choose Bing for the default search engine in Safari web browser too. And this could mean quite huge loss for Google when it comes to search revenue, because there is a lot of users with iOS devices, and a lot of those users doesn't care which search engine is default in the web browser. A lot of users even don't know which search engine they use when they do a search in Safari. And these users will not change the default search engine to Google, even if they can, because they don't know how to do it and they don't see any huge difference between the searches. So these users will probably use what's default in the Safari web browser. And that would mean millions of users that stops using Google on their iOS devices and uses the default search engine instead. Also, Mozilla recently switched default search engine in their web browser called Firefox. They switched from Google to Yahoo. Both Yahoo and Microsoft is in talks with Apple to try to convince Apple to choose their search engine instead of Google next year. So we will see next year what Apple chooses as the default search engine on iOS. Personally, I don't search much anymore because I use apps mostly, and I get the info in the apps and Twitter and so on. So if I do a search, I usually do it in Twitter or Flipboard or other apps I use. But I must say that I haven't used Yahoo in at least 5 or 6 years, and I have almost never used Bing either, only for testing how good or bad Bing is. So I will probably one of those that choose Google as my default search engine on iOS. Okay, bye.